Bills Mafia, what's going on? Before we get into one of the wildest, most emotional games of the season, we need to start with something important. This Buffalo Bills team is constantly searching for ways to improve, to sharpen the details, and to raise its level week after week, because they know that in December and January, nothing comes easy in the NFL. And real quick, before we dive into it, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. It helps the channel grow and keeps you plugged in to everything happening with your Buffalo Bills. By the way, Bills fans, if you want official Buffalo Bills gear, jerseys, hats, or the new Sideline pieces, I left the link to the official store below. It helps the channel and keeps you geared up for the season. Now, let's talk about a win that felt incredible and concerning at the same time. The Buffalo Bills walked out of Foxborough with a massive 35-31 victory over the New England Patriots, a win that absolutely matters in the AFC East and playoff race. But beneath the celebration, beneath the comeback, beneath the Josh Allen heroics, this game quietly set a brutal franchise record that no one inside one Bills drive wanted to see. A record that exposed a growing issue, one that cannot be ignored if Buffalo wants to make a deep postseason run. The warning signs were there early. Buffalo entered the game already short-handed in the secondary. Breakout cornerback Christian Benford was ruled out before kickoff with a foot injury, forcing head coach Sean McDermott to reshuffle the defensive backfield and lean heavily on Cole Bishop and the rest of the group. Against a Patriots team that has reinvented itself as a physical, balanced offense under first-year head coach Mike Vrabel, that was never going to be easy. And things unraveled quickly. From the opening drives, New England made its intentions crystal clear. They were going to run the football over and over again, and Buffalo had no answers. The Patriots exploded to a 21-0 lead, pounding the Bills between the tackles and piling up more than 150 rushing yards in the first half alone. Buffalo's offense, meanwhile, struggled to find rhythm, finishing the half with under 100 total yards. It was one of the ugliest halves of football the Bills have played all season. The Patriots controlled the line of scrimmage, they dictated tempo, they imposed their will, and the Bills were reeling. Then came the moment that etched this game into the wrong side of the history books. Midway through the game, Patriots running back Travion Henderson ripped off a 52-yard rushing touchdown, slicing through Buffalo's defense untouched. According to ESPN research, as noted by Elena Getzenberg, that touchdown gave the Bills 22 rushing touchdowns allowed this season, the most Buffalo has surrendered in any year since Sean McDermott became head coach in 2017. And by the time the game ended, that number had officially increased, a new, brutal franchise low for a McDermott-era defense. Let that sink in. This is a Bills team built on discipline, structure, and defensive accountability, and they are now allowing rushing touchdowns at a historic rate. As if the run defense struggles weren't enough, the Bills took another hit. Defensive tackle Jordan Phillips left the game with an ankle injury and was ruled questionable to return. While Phillips hasn't put up eye-popping stats this season, his value goes far beyond the box score. He anchors the interior, he eats blocks, he helps free up linebackers. Without him, Buffalo's defensive front became even more vulnerable, and the Patriots took full advantage. Now here's where the story flips, because while the defense was leaking oil, Josh Allen went into superhero mode. With the return of wide receiver Josh Palmer, the Bills' offense found its footing. Allen kept answering every Patriots punch with one of his own. Big throws, clutch runs, poise under pressure. Drive by drive, the Bills clawed their way back into the game. What once looked like a blowout turned into a full-blown AFC East shootout, the kind of game that swings playoff seeding and shifts momentum late in the season. And when the dust settled, Buffalo completed an epic comeback and escaped Foxborough with a 35-31 win. Make no mistake, this was a huge win. It keeps Buffalo firmly in the playoff race, it keeps pressure on New England in the AFC East, and it reinforces what we already know. As long as Josh Allen is under center, the Bills are never out of a game. But this wasn't a clean win. This wasn't a statement of dominance. This was a win that came with a warning label. Even with the comeback, even with the celebration, the Patriots' success on the ground kept the door wide open all afternoon. That's the part that will dominate the film room this week. Missed fits, poor gap integrity, lack of push up front. Against elite playoff teams, Baltimore, San Francisco, Kansas City, those issues don't just keep games close, they end seasons. Buffalo is now 9-4, coming off back-to-back wins and firmly positioned for another postseason appearance. But the path ahead is clear. If the Bills want to seriously chase a deep January run, not just make the playoffs but make noise, this run defense must be fixed immediately. That means getting healthier up front, better discipline from linebackers, and more physicality at the point of attack, because the margin for error is shrinking by the week. The Buffalo Bills walked into Foxborough and did something that very few teams can do. They stared adversity in the face and refused to blink. Down 21-0 in the first half against a Patriots team that entered the game at 11-2, Buffalo looked completely out of sync early. The offense stalled, the defense couldn't stop the run, the crowd was rocking. It felt like the Bills were on the verge of watching the AFC East slip away further. Instead, they responded with one of the most impressive stretches of football they've played all season, outscoring New England 35-10 the rest of the way to secure a stunning 35-31 comeback victory, improving to 10-4. And while Josh Allen deserves plenty of credit, as always, this game ultimately came down to one defensive moment that changed everything. Late in the fourth quarter, with the Patriots driving and threatening to retake the lead, New England faced a 4th and 5. The stadium was tense. The season felt like it was hanging in balance. Drake Maye dropped back, scanning downfield, searching for the big play that could define his young career. Instead, he ran into a hard lesson of NFL football. Joey Bosa jumped. Bosa tipped the pass at the line of scrimmage, forcing a turnover on downs and effectively ending the Patriots' comeback hopes. Game ball. And after the game, Maye gave one of the most honest and unintentionally funny quotes you'll hear all season. "I was looking downfield and I forgot the guy in front of me could jump." That one sentence tells you everything about how that moment unfolded. What makes this play even more impressive is the context. Joey Bosa missed Week 14 with a hamstring injury. He entered this game without recording a single tackle. Statistically, it wasn't a flashy afternoon, but when football is played on a spreadsheet, when the game was on the line, when Buffalo needed one stop, Bosa delivered.
That's why the Bills brought him to Buffalo. That's why veterans matter in December. That's why experience shows up when everything is at stake. One jump, one deflection, one season-altering play. For Drake Maye, this moment stings. He played well enough to win for long stretches of this game. He pushed the ball downfield. He showed poise against pressure. He led an offense that jumped out to a 21-point lead. But this was also a reminder that learning how to win in the NFL takes time. This is just Maye's second season. Situational awareness, understanding who's in front of you, who can disrupt throwing lanes, comes with reps. As painful as this loss is for New England, it's also part of Maye's growth process. And that's the scary part for Bills fans. Let's be honest, Bills fans enjoyed the brief stretch when the Patriots fell back to earth after 2 decades of dominance. Those years felt like payback, but those days are over. With Drake Maye under center, New England is relevant again, competitive again, dangerous again. They gave Buffalo 2 incredibly tough games this season, and they're going to be a problem in the AFC East for years to come, which makes this win even more important.
For the Bills, this was more than just another win. This was proof of resilience, proof of leadership, proof that this team doesn't fold under pressure. Buffalo didn't panic at 21-0. They didn't abandon the game plan. They trusted their quarterback, trusted their veterans, and trusted their preparation. But this wasn't a perfect performance. The Bills will walk away thrilled with the result and brutally honest about the flaws that showed up again, especially on defense. That's what good teams do. At 10-4, Buffalo was firmly in the playoff picture and still very much alive in the AFC East race. They've now proven they can win in hostile environments, against elite quarterbacks, in games where everything goes wrong early. But they also know this: you can't spot good teams 21 points in January and expect miracles. The margin for error is shrinking. Every snap matters. So now I want to hear from you. Yes, the comeback was thrilling. Yes, the win was massive. But are you concerned about the Bills' run defense setting a McDermott-era record for rushing touchdowns allowed? Do you think this is fixable before the playoffs? Or is this a flaw that could ultimately end Buffalo's season? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. And before you go, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any coverage as the Bills push toward the postseason. And don't forget, the official Bills store link is down below if you want to check out the newest gear. Big win, big concerns. The next few weeks will tell us everything. Go Bills.